Hello, this is Roland. I want to say something today about prayer. I want to say something about prayer that should be very useful. I want to begin with an old proverb or an old saying, which goes like this: If you give a man a fish, then he has food for a day. If you teach a man to fish, then he has food for a lifetime. Okay? Or we could say it another way. We could say if you give a person a fish, then he or she has food for a day. If you teach a person to fish, then that person has food for a lifetime. You understand, don't you? Because the person who you teach to fish can then fish for themselves from there on. They've learned a trade. They become self-reliant. So now I want to talk about what I just said in terms of prayer. A lot of people write to me and they don't even know who, or send me an email, they don't know who I am. They just go online and there's different places and then they pick one or they pick several. Then they copy and paste whatever they're saying to several. But you know what? It's kind of it's kind of an avoidance of responsibility in a way for a lot of people. Because A, they're not praying themselves, or maybe they are, but they feel like their praying is not doing any good, so they think, well, if somebody else, maybe somebody better than me, smarter than me, nicer than me, you say, prays, then it'll help. Well, that's possible. It says in the Bible, the fervent prayers of a righteous man, something like that, availeth much. Okay, but I think your own prayers would be good, but you don't know how. But see, here's the thing. So I'm going to teach you how to pray. Okay, instead of praying for you, I'm tempted to put this email up and stop taking prayer requests. And when people come for prayer requests, then I'll ask them to watch this video. See, to pray, you have to be in the right state of mind. The way you are right now, undoubtedly, when I say you, I'm talking to the average person, most people, maybe 99% of people. They are basically in a hypnotized state. They don't realize it. See, people are in a hypnotized state all the time, but they don't realize it. But the proof of it is that they're reactive. They're reactive, emotional, easily upset, easily irritated. They get lost in thinking, lost in the imagination, lost in texting, lost in movies, lost in music. And when guilt begins to see in that state, then we make mistakes because we're suggestible. We listen to other people instead of what you know in your heart. See, that's where you go wrong. You doubt what you know in your heart, or you can't find it anymore. You're so far from it. You're so used to being lost in your thinking. See, so lost in imagination. And so you've been trained to look to the outside, to other people, to experts, see, to tell you. So then you do what everybody tells you or what the group tells you. See, that's another hypnotized state, getting lost in the group dynamics of your peer group. And so whatever they do, if they smoke marijuana, whatever they do, then you do it too, see. And then you have to go back to them for comfort, for reassurance, for what they've made of you, for what you did with them. See, and you don't look to God anymore, because God won't comfort you for smoking marijuana, or for promiscuous sex, or for being gossipy, or avoiding responsibility, or being selfish. Whatever it is, He's not going to reward you for that. He'll send His light, His conscious light. See, and then it makes you feel bad. But if you would go back to the light, like the prodigal son, returning to the Father, if you went back to the light of conscience within, reconciled with it, then after that you can seek approval from God. So if you want to be able to pray, the first thing you have to do is to wake up. You want to come back to the place where you can pray to God. You won't find God down in thinking. You won't find God in the imagination. You won't find God in study. You won't find God in a building or in a ritual. Those are all hypnotic. It's all hypnotic. Music, rituals, study, imagination, thinking. You find God in the objective state. See, the hypnotic state is the sin state. That's where we sin. You're misled, and you do foolish things, and later what did I do that for? Oh my God, what did I say that for? Why didn't that work out? See? But then you make excuses. You think it was your idea. So you defend it as if it were your idea. See? Or you make excuses. Who are you making excuses to? See what I mean? Why would you do the wrong thing and then make excuses? So that's proof that you're in a trance state. And all these things like texting and music and video games and all these things, they just tend to keep you in the trance state. Not that they're necessarily wrong. It's not necessarily wrong to text or to play a little video game, see, or to listen to a little music. It's not necessarily wrong. It may be. It may not be. It may be part of your work. You have to send a text as part of your work. Well, very good. But, see, it lends itself. Let's put it that way. It lends itself more to the hypnotic state, so you have to be careful. But how can you be careful if you're in the hypnotic? You don't even realize it. See, in order to come back to God, you have to be in the objective state, not in the trance. So that's back in the present, instead of lost in thinking, worrying, doubting, reliving the past, or planning for the future, or daydreaming. See, worrying. You have to come back to the present moment, back to the present, where the birds are singing, and then find the presence in the present. So first you have to wake up. See? You have to wake up, literally wake up. It's like the morning after the night before. You wake up and you see what you did, and you say, oh my God. See? That's waking up. Or you're involved with someone, and all of a sudden you find out that they're lying to you. See? They're taking advantage. They're cheating you. And you say, oh my God. But you see, you're waking up to reality. But the problem is, a lot of times when you wake up like that, then you resent, see, the truth. And you scurry back into a hypnotic trance where you feel more comfortable. See, it's more comfortable down there, away from reality, away from the truth of your mistakes. And we've all made a lot of mistakes now in our hypnotic trance state. We've gone through life and did what others told us to do. We made mistakes. We became reactive and emotional. We said the wrong thing and did the wrong thing. A lot of us blew it with our kids. See, we blew it with our partner. See? Well, now you just have to wake up and face the music. Wake up and smell the coffee. Okay? And I don't know of a better way of waking up. See, and then when you wake up, then you can pray. You'll be closer to the light. You'll experience the light of truth. You'll be closer to the light, and you'll experience the light of truth. See? So waking up. See? Best thing is to wake up gently, nicely. See? Because you want to. If you don't want to, then it won't work for you. Or if you do wake up and say, oh my God, then you'll go back into your comforting trance state. So waking up is very easy to do. Or I can get you started. Let's put it that way. I can get you started with the meditation that I have. It's designed to help you to become still. Get out of your thinking. Get out of the thought stream where you are now lost. Come back to the present, closer to the light. Then you have God's light of truth. We call it intuition, which is a good thing. God's light of truth is intuition. Okay? Where you know how to, where you have how to do, where you know things without words. You just know. Okay? And it can become a light unto your feet, a lamp unto your feet, to guide you and to protect you. It's from God. It's the inner light. Okay? And it only feels like conscience when you stray from it. But even then it's still gentle, gently knocking on the door of your mind and making you aware that you made a mistake. If you were impatient with your children, let's say you were impatient with your child. Afterwards, your conscience bothers you. You realize that you were impatient. Your child came with a little question and you were mean and selfish. You wanted to text instead, or talk to your friend, or read a magazine or something. And you impatiently brushed your child off. Well, that was wrong. So what you do, here's what you do. You bear the pain of seeing that truth. And then you tell your child, you say, I'm sorry, I was impatient, I was wrong, I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't ask them to forgive you, only God forgives you. But just apologize, clear the air, and say, I'm sorry, and mean it. It's very important. I'm sorry, and mean it. And then go about your business. See, that little moment where you admit the truth, see, that could begin the beginning of a change for the better. Your whole life could change, starting with that one moment. Then get my meditation and practice it. Then you'll be able to pray. You'll be able to pray unceasingly, as Paul said, because you'll be in a prayerful state of mind. Okay? My name is Roman.